It's 10 p.m. in Banjul from our studios on MDI Road. This is the news. First, the headlines. Government to procure a new generator by the end of the year in an effort to address the erratic power supply. Experts meet in Banjul to review the achievements and challenges of a sub-regional agricultural program. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is in Uganda to raise $8 billion for refugees. And authorities in Tunisia ban the use of plastic bags to minimize pollution. These and other stories come ahead in this hour. I am Mohammed Njai. The Office of the President has held its first press briefing as part of its strategy to reach out to the public and promote accountability at the country's highest office. The briefing was held by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Ami Bojang Sisoho, and covered various issues that transpired in the past 6 months. Mamadou Diallo reports.
The press briefing touched on a range of issues, including the government's plan to fix the electricity problems which continue to dog the country. According to Ami Bojang Sisoho, government has made a decision to rehabilitate the existing generators and procure another one before the end of the year.
NAWEC has rehabilitated 3 of the faulty generators, which have been down for over a year. They are providing an additional 18 megawatts of power at the moment. NAWEC is also currently rehabilitating 3 other generators of a total capacity of 21 megawatts. They are expected to be available later this year, by the end of July, October, and in December.
She also said that a draft bill establishing a Truth and Reconciliation Commission will soon be tabled before the National Assembly. The much talked about think tank will also be inaugurated soon, as its 15 members have all been selected. Shedding light on what actions government has taken to address the environmental problems that occurred in Combo South, Mrs. Bojang Sisoho said, government and the company have reached an out-of-court settlement.
The company will remove its pipes from the sea, support a comprehensive ecological assessment, and restore damage done on the ecology. In addition, the company will pay for testing of the water to know how and why it was affected.
On the topical issue of the appointment of a vice president, the press director said the decision has not yet been made, but questioned on how soon will a decision be taken. She promised to inform the public anytime such a decision is made. She also informed journalists that the president has ordered all ministers to declare their assets by July 15th. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police and his deputy have both been relieved of their post and redeployed, whilst the Director General of Immigration has been replaced by his deputy. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS News.
A team of experts from the West African Agricultural Productivity Program, WAP, on Wednesday commenced a regional meeting aimed at reviewing the achievements and challenges of the sub-regional body. Uminjai picks up the rest of that story.
Ture Jata is busy working at the Sukuta Community Garden. On a daily basis, she and many of these women come here to either remove the weeds or spray water on the plants. This garden is one of the many community projects funded by the West African Agricultural Productivity Program, WAP. Ture Jata said she normally used proceeds from the garden to feed her family and pay her children's school fees. Speaking at the opening of the regional meeting of WAP delegates, the success of the Sukuta Women's Garden was highlighted by a representative of the ECOWAS Commissioner of Agriculture, Dr. Aplas Bilgo. He said the team was quite impressed with the women of Sukuta for putting up a garden to sustain themselves. Dr. Bilgo spoke extensively about the achievements and challenges WAP has been going through since its inception. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Said Drabe said, WAP is a regional program implemented in 13 ECOWAS countries. He said the decision to host the meeting was unanimously supported during a meeting held in Nigeria last year.
The Gambia has become a household name not only in the project implementation areas, but countrywide, due to the project implementation approach and outcomes registered. And the list of the achievements include the provision of high-quality certified and foundation seeds, reaching out to over 139,000 beneficiaries, and representing over 100% of the project target at the end of December 2016.
The Minister of Agriculture, Omar Jallow, said WAP has enabled the generation and dissemination of improved technologies. He said a harmonized seed system for West Africa that enables cross-border improved seed trade is taking shape.
However, West and Central Africa is still facing important challenges with respect to providing adequate food for a growing urban population, for a growing rural-urban drift. That is why we have to envisage and strategize and make sure we provide amenities and facilities and opportunities to provide jobs for youth who continue to embark on the serious perilous journeys across the desert and across the Mediterranean.
The delegates are drawn from 13 ECOWAS member nations and are expected to critically review the achievements and ways of improving the West African Agricultural Productivity Program. Ominjai, GRTS.
The Senegambia Democracy and Governance Organization Tuesday organized iftar to prisoners and prison officers at the Mile 2 Central Prisons. Mudi Wangom was at the presentation.
The Senegambia Democracy and Governance Organization, SENGO, organized iftar for inmates and officers at the Mile 2 prisons. The initiative, according to the CEO of the organization, is something they have been longing to do over the years, and this is the very first of many to come.
Providing nutrition for people is something that Allah likes. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, especially with this month of Ramadan, giving out to the poor and the needy for the last 10 days of Ramadan. Is somebody like giving somebody to eat is better than even sending somebody to Mecca. So therefore, they are my brothers, they are my sisters. We are all in this together. And I love them as one Gambia, one people, one nation.
Several speakers, including the Acting Director General of Prisons, expressed their gratitude to Madam Tukujalo for her initiative, comparing her contribution to the former regime's era, where prison visits of this sort were highly prohibited.
She can take this iftar or this Laylatul Qadr dinner to somewhere else. There are homes, there are facilities in the country that are in need of this such. But Madam Tuku wants to prove to the whole world that prisoners are human beings. So I think definitely this is a very good initiative.
While the women were busy preparing the food and refreshments, a quick tour around the prison was taken to explore the living conditions of prison warders and prisoners. What we saw was almost heartbreaking.
I am almost 26 years old in this service, and I made these houses here. And they are like how they are, nothing has changed, you see. So, like I said before, this year, definitely we are expecting changes.
Some of the officers also highlighted the positive changes they've been experiencing since the change of government, hoping that things only get better from this point forward.
For the first time in the history of the prisons, since I joined the prisons, the Vice President visited my office just less than 3 weeks ago. You see, I was even surprised. He said, I'm here to see you people. I want to know how you people are doing here and see what we... So I was more than the word happy.
The spokesperson of SENGO had this to say when asked about how she felt about the initiative.
Looking at the surroundings of the prison, most of the buildings that I could see that they are obsolete or outdated. I think the prisons need to be restructured again, because health is not merely the absence of disease, but the physical, mental, and the social well-being of the person. And the officers here, not only those behind bars, but the officers, the wardens, they too, they need to be promoted. Their conditions need to be upgraded, because if they are not happy, the prisoners cannot be happy. because it is their duty to upgrade and to rehabilitate these prisoners. So when their conditions are not favorable, definitely, psychologically, they too, they will not be able to work.
Madam Jallo further stated that with proper collaboration with the new borough administration, measures towards prison reformation can and will be taken sooner than later. The food was dished out and distributed to appreciative inmates and officers shortly after the tour around the prison premises. Mudi Wangom, reporting for GRTS News.
The leader of the Gambia Democratic Congress Party, Mama Kande, on Wednesday visited hospitals in the Greater Banjul area. The initiative, as we hear in this report by Babukar Kamara, is aimed at helping the needy.
The purpose of my outing is to go around, visit hospitals and health centers, and of course to visit our patients in the hospitals, pray for them. May the Almighty Allah give them a speedy recovery. And then of course also to look around and see what are the problems that the health sector is facing, as it is a concern to me and to every Gambian. That's why I decided today to go and visit the hospitals myself.
The Gambia Democratic Congress Party leader Mama Kande is reviving a routine exercise of reaching out to the people, an ambition widely hailed by health administrators and beneficiaries as rare attributes for opposition leaders.
I am very much pleased and grateful to the Almighty having a Gambian coming in, not as a politician, but as a goodwill gesture, to see patients and to pray with them, offer prayers, and to give them a token to express his willingness to share the little he has with the populace. We are very much grateful. I think it will definitely add impetus to our healthcare service delivery endeavors by coming in, knowing some of the challenges we are actually confronted with, and then we hope, not just knowing, but will definitely institute the remedial measures to the challenges identified, basically.
Kande started his exercise at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital and later to the Serekunda General Hospital before taking time and effort to reach out to Bundum and Brikama health centers. According to the GDC leader, his move, whether political or not, is part of his civic duty, and no chorus of political bickering will deter his ambition to help Gambians.
Whether it is politics or not, as a citizen, if any contribution I can do towards national development, I'll do my quota. And I have been doing this even before becoming into the political arena, becoming a member of parliament. I have contributed a lot in the health sector when I was in Europe. So as long as I'm alive, this is going to be a continuous thing on my side. So it's not about me being a party leader today. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. But I have been doing it even before venturing into politics. So the sites that I'm visiting, they don't belong to government. They're Gambian sites. And as we are all Gambians, and I'm also calling every Gambian to come on board. You know, government cannot do it alone. You know, but at the end of the day, if we all Gambians put our hand on deck together, I believe we can move this Gambia to the higher heights. They have a lot of few things that 2-3 people in this country can solve, you know, without a problem. But if we all sit down and relax and wait for government to do, I mean, it is going to be very, very difficult for the government, because government have also so many things on their table. So that's why I'm calling on every Gambian to come on board and contribute their quota towards national development, especially the health sector.
Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
A UK-based charity called Street Orphans is in collaboration with its Gambian partner recently donated food items to the less privileged. By Ibrahim Chaim reports.
On the most significant day of the holy month of Ramadan, Street Orphanage Village put smiles on the faces of needy Muslims in the Gambia by giving out large amounts of food provisions. About 187 bags of rice, 80 gallons of cooking oil, 20 bags of onions, and 20 bags of sugar was handed out. Speaking at the ceremony, the charity's director of operations in the Gambia, Musa Saidi, said that his colleagues were on the verge of building an orphanage and educational facility which helped to improve children's living conditions and reduce poverty.
Street orphans have already secured a land in the Gambia where they want to build, we want to build £10 million orphanage project in North Bank region village of Al Jamdo. Since when they left, they have been working hard to make sure that that project can start as soon as possible.
Nazir Ahmed, the trustee of Life Aid International, who helped in facilitating the donation, said they will continue to help the needy.
The charities, the big charities especially, I'm talking about, not the small ones, what they need to do is send the trustees, 1 or 2 trustees, come over here, look around, speak to the people, then go back and report to your people, then from there, come and work here.
The CEO of Street Orphanage Village, Ashik Hussein, called on Gambians to continue to work with the charity.
And I have got full confidence that when me and Nazir go back to UK, we are able to show the people, the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ, that your aid, the share your food appeal packs you have given, we have gone there and we have distributed it with our own selves.
The beneficiaries were overwhelmed with the gesture. By Ibrahim Cham, GRTS News.
Vision Development Foundation Wednesday distributed food items to needy people on the occasion of Laylatul Qadr, the night of power. Ibrahim Jallo covered the distribution exercise.
People stormed the foundation's ground at Churchill's Town for the usual and regular presentations. Food items and cash donations were distributed as charity, thanks to the founder of Vision Development Foundation, Moru Turo Dabo.
They really helped us and we are very happy. I wish him long life and God's protection. He has been helping us since the Ramadan started.
We are very happy and appreciative of the gesture. May God reward him abundantly.
Wednesday's distribution was meant to put smiles on the faces of the needy on the occasion of the night of Laylatul Qadr, mostly observed on the 27th day of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. One after the other, they received the items from the line-up distributors, among them important personalities lending support to the initiative.
I want to emphasize that it's a gesture which is a humanitarian gesture. So being the case, it knows no limit, it has no boundary. Anybody who is in the position can definitely come and lend your support to him, because he alone and his staff cannot do it. This is why you can see it is cross-cutting. People from all walks of life, from all backgrounds, are here to render the support.
Honorable Sidi Ajata said the crowd indicated the high prevalence of poverty in the country, which he said needs to be addressed.
Those who are here, if they had the means, they wouldn't be here. I think all that this is expressing is the fact that governments must do their best to serve the fundamental needs of the people. Because if people's needs are basically served, I don't think many of them would want to come here, because I'm sure no one is happy to stand in this queue to get what they are getting. They are doing it because they can't, they need it, and they have no other means of getting it.
The charitable foundation is poised to continue the humanitarian support as Muslims prepare to mark the corridor. Ibrahim Jallo, GRTS News.
The second ordinary session of the National Assembly in the 2017 legislative year is scheduled for Thursday 29 June to Friday 7th July. During the meetings, members shall consider the revised 2017 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the government and other businesses. Accordingly, the general public is invited to attend and must adhere to the standard dress code, traditional or lounge suit. The Office of the Clerk reminds general public that a silence rule must be observed during the proceedings of the meeting. All sitting commences at 10 a.m. daily. The Independent Electoral Commission directs all commercial drivers to remove from their vehicles UNDP or EU stickers issued to them during the National Assembly elections. A statement from the IEC says the stickers were only issued to them for visibility of their support in the election. Commercial drivers must not now use these stickers as the vehicles are not owned by the UNDP or EU. We will be back with sport